playing some House Flipper 2 and doing some kind of spooky, witchier builds. I need to find something to set under my little container. Take the label off of my little snack, and adhesive left some stickies behind. Okay, let's see. Move my phone over there. Okay. Hopefully the game doesn't decide to act up. I have had it open for a while because I was doing some... I finished a bunch more of the assemblies and... edited the color of some of the things in my house. I'll do a little tour of my renovation of the blue bungalow. So in here we have a very purple and black bedroom, which I am absolutely loving the way that this looks. Oh, fun. The glow from some of the things is coming through the wall. That's always interesting. And then out here we have our little kitchen, dining, living room, and office space. And I even put some stuff inside of the little chest there. Little bathroom. A storage room where I haven't put anything in here yet. And then backyard. I should probably recolor the trampoline. There we go. It's better. Fits my color palette a bit better. Added a car in the driveway. Some of the kind of spookier looking trees. Some flowers. Bird bath. Spookier looking fence. I really like these little jack-o'-lanterns. They're fun. And the fact that you can actually float the bath toys on top of these cauldrons is so fun. And then like a castle kind of door. But yeah, this used to be well, it's technically still Blue Bungalow, but obviously I recolored the entire build to match my personal aesthetic a little bit better. And I went somewhere a little more spooky and... Oh, looks like one of my friends is playing something. I'm not going to do any of the regular jobs right now. Let's see, we have 673K. Because I've done 4 of the properties and sold them. And I have done some of the larger jobs, the ones that are technically recommended for like where was the oh, the emails section, right? But I did do some of the ones that are recommended for like multiplayer by myself, which of course takes a significantly longer amount of time to do than if I were to do them like in a co-op situation. Trying to spear an olive on my little olive salad. But yeah, I am not really in the mood to do any of those builds right now. And I don't remember what I was doing with the over the garage house. So I think I'm gonna just grab one that I haven't done yet. Preferably one of the slightly less expensive ones, so that I have a decent amount of money left over to work with. Because yeah, I could do the alligator bar, but let's see, doing the math because with a calculator, because my brain is just like not very math oriented at the moment. I'm not terrible at math, I just don't feel like writing the whole thing out, and my brain doesn't want to do the mental math. 665. Yeah, that would only leave me with 8K, not including selling everything in and around the house. But I do want to do something a little on the witchier side, like with sort of Halloween spooky vibes, cauldrons and spider webs and that kind of stuff, just because why not? Oh, that was marinated. I bought this salad a few days ago. It's just an antipasti salad. The amount of work that I'd have to redo the exterior significantly on that one. Kind of want to do this one. But which does look vaguely familiar from, I think, one of the jobs. I think that's where this house is from initially. But I don't know if I want to do this one, because while it does have a beautiful setting for like a like witch in the woods sort of house, the aesthetic isn't there. I think I'm gonna go with this one, actually, because exterior wise it's got that kind of potentially haunted house vibe. The garage it's there. Definitely. Yeah, I think I'll go with this house. This one I feel like could work. Okay, so we're gonna buy that. Drops us to 500K. Not moving the office there, though. I prefer having my office in either, like, in the first house flipper, I love using the Smarta Myers house, just because it's got the spooky music, which I did Google that, and it is intentional that the music stays to give a sort of unsettling vibe. This is gonna take a sec to load, of course. I've noticed that the buyers in this one aren't as super picky as the buyers in the original house flipper, which is nice because I don't have to necessarily cater to them to get them to buy things. I mean, obviously, an original house flipper, if you're flipping one of the bigger houses, in general, your best bet is to go about it in a way to make it appeal to, like, one of the families rather than one of the singles. What house was it? There was one house that I've flipped it a couple of different times in different saves and in original house flipper. That once you have the if you have the farm expansion and you and you've unlocked the ability to, like, build on certain houses, I've added an entire, like, section to this one house to increase the number of bedrooms and bathrooms so that it fits the needs of that bigger family. Can't remember their names off the top of my head. There we go. I've got a bunch of games that technically shouldn't be playable on my computer because of RAM issues. Specifically, my computer has 8 gigs of built-in RAM, and some games require like 16 or 20 depending on the game. But I did figure out a workaround for that. I increased my virtual memory, and I found that most of my games are, like, running a lot faster and better than they were prior to me doing that. Okay. Now, if I don't want me to do anything, there we go. Now we're gonna sell pretty much everything. Because I can do significantly different things with the plants. I feel like I've done this house. I would have just done something similar. Gotta cut the grass. But I prefer to get rid of all of the stuff in the yard before attempting to cut the grass. Then if I miss anything, I can always come back and sell it after I've mowed the grass. Not gonna sell the columns or anything. Those I can just recolor. I don't like these globe lights for this build. Although I did have a save, or I did have to restart my save. This was a while back now, but I don't remember what happened, but I ended up restarting my House Flipper 2 save. No, I don't want to sell the roof. I want to sell that. Good Lord. Oh, there's the garbage can. But it didn't take super long for me to, like, get back to a decent amount of money. Because, like I said, I did some of those really big jobs, the ones that technically you're supposed to do in co-op. But it was more of a curiosity thing, because I saw the co-op little ribbon on it, and I was like, do I have to do this in co-op, or can I do it by myself? And turns out you don't have to be in co-op to play those particular builds. I think I'll just recolor that. Good Lord. Just redo this whole space. You gotta love it when random things just decide to float. Instead of like falling like they're supposed to be. Look at that. That looks silly. Okay, I think I'll leave that alone. Okay, it looks like we've got a door to the backyard here. Okay, I think I might have done some... Oh wait, no, I think I'm remembering the version that was part of the job that unlocks it. That's what it was. That's what I'm remembering. I honestly don't remember what the job was exactly, but okay, that one it doesn't. Oh, hello, butterfly. I apologize to the butterfly for selling all this plant matter, but I want to completely redo this whole property, so I can't really be... Oh, are these panel fence pieces? Huh. Or did they just, like, draw the fence and then... and draw it in pieces rather than all at once? Ugh. Trying not to sell the roofing because there's no undo button in regular gameplay. There's only an undo button in sandbox mode. Okay, now let's move the garbage can to be over here for the moment. And I also like that we get a lawnmower right off the bat rather than having to have a separate DLC for it. Let's see, I want it... I want it flat. The fact that this is just narrow enough, or just the space is just wide enough, rather, that the lawnmower doesn't cover the entirety of it. But, yeah, I like the lawn to be a bit more than just tidy. Like it to be nice and short so that it doesn't potentially hide anything that I've missed. Because that's what happens to me all the time when I'm playing these kinds of games where I mow the lawn and it's like, oh, now you've discovered 5 different things that were hiding in the grass, and it's just like, oh, yeah. pattern to what I'm doing here. I just want to get this grass cut so that it's the best kept lawn on the block. I do miss the mini map from original House Flipper. What's annoying is there's always one little bit of grass. You can't cut it all because technically it's not on the same property. Just get the edge done. Like there's just a few little bits that aren't actually on this property. So we can't mow them. Which, I mean, makes sense. You can't mow your neighbor's lawn without permission. In real life, you shouldn't mow someone else's lawn without their permission. Just in general. Well, you shouldn't really be on somebody's property without their permission. That's trespassing. I do not condone that. And obviously, neither does the law. Always be respectful of your neighbors. Okay. Aha, I did miss a spot. Always turn around to check. Ugh. I don't understand why this bit of grass is considered part of that property. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish the front yard now. Okay, it looks like I got it all. Okay, let's just do a quick... Oops. Go. Let's just do a quick walk through to make sure I didn't miss any spots that aren't just neighboring grass glitching through. Looks like I got it all. The number of times that I have sold the lawnmower and then had to reacquire it. And I find it interesting that we vacuum the leaves. I mean, it's weird that we vacuum roaches too, but I can't remember if this one actually does this one have the roaches, or is that oops, not tab. I think it was a graphics setting in House Flipper 1. I just got oil on my chin. My napkin fell on the floor. Nope, it's a gameplay setting. Maybe this one just doesn't have that? I do like that we have the spray bottle, though. It does make it easier to okay, looks like I got all of the dirt out here. Although I do want to sell that. Okay. Let's go back to cleaning mode and run. I do want to redo the exterior stuff too. I think we'll just finish cleaning the outside. Trying to get more experience with the flipper sense thing. And also because sometimes I don't get all of the... Oh, good lord. That is really bad. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That is really narrow. Okay, we're gonna... Okay. Oh, that one's not trash. That is empty though. I think now that I'm seeing how narrow that space was, I think this property might have been one of the ones where you have to edit the layout. Oof. Excuse me. Yep, I'm remembering now. It was one where they needed a bunch of like produce and stuff in the kitchen and some edits to the house's layout. Yeah, because this house is just... It's not the greatest layout. It's very cramped. I think I'm just gonna recolor the windows. I don't dislike that tub. Yeah, and then there was this room. It's supposed to be a 3-bedroom house. Because there's this bedroom, which is not terribly sized. This bedroom is tiny, and this room is also tiny. So what I think I'm gonna do is seal off here or here. I haven't decided yet which spot I'm gonna seal off. But I'm gonna tear down this section of wall. And I think I actually want to get rid of this bit of wall as well. Oh, did I just... Yep. Okay, I think that is what I meant to do. Yeah, because I want to... Yeah, so I think I'm going to enclose it here. Okay, so we're going to go into build. Oh, shoot. I'm probably going to have to go... Okay, you know what? Let's finish cleaning and then I'll decide exactly how I want to go about that. The flipper sense thing is pretty useful. I definitely would have liked having that in the original. Yeah, there's a lot to clean in this. Also, I don't like these switches. They're kind of weird, odd looking. I don't know if weird is the right word, but they don't... I don't know. There's just something about them that doesn't look quite right to me. I don't know. Okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do is seal up that door and make a new one here. So that means I'm gonna have to smash here. Go. Okay. Now. Oops, wrong. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. to there. And then there we go. That's better. And it's a nice bigger space too. I don't know, this house just feels really closed off. I mean, it just is really closed off. Probably a good thing I'm not claustrophobic. I mean, I definitely have met people who are. Actually, I know someone who is both claustrophobic and agoraphobic, so that's not very fun for that person. Okay. But yeah, I would not be even remotely happy if I anywhere really. If you think about it, there's like so many places that are either wide open or enclosed in some way, and to have to feel like you're trapped when you're indoors, it does not sound fun. But yeah, I could see not being comfortable in this space though. It's not even like the claustrophobia aspect for me. It's I'd walk into the walls. I would be bumping into the walls constantly. I mean, I do that anyway, but that's just because I'm a fairly clumsy person. Like, I wouldn't be able to function in this small of a space. I mean, look at this. Like, who does? Okay, that I think shoot. I meant to only do 2, oh well. Well, actually no, that's a little bit... Having 1 extra is not a bad thing. Going 1 extra with it was actually not the worst thing I could have done there. But... let's see, I need to finish selling these. And this light, that, and that. And this front door, I don't... This isn't the worst, but I think... yeah, I can't really go in from there because of the stairs. Okay, let's see, how much... oof, yeah. I did already upgrade my cleaning supplies at least. Having the spray bottle really makes this so much faster. I don't think any of the windows need cleaning in this house. Oops. I always do that. Yeah, I can't really do anything about that. I'm gonna sell these pieces of fence, which of course means now I can also do that. But we're going to change style for the stairs. Okay, I'm definitely going to go with the dark wood for that. And then into the faded violet 4. And then copy it to there. I do love that there's the copy paste option in this game. I don't know why they didn't implement it in original House Flipper, but I definitely would miss it if I well, I do miss it when I go and play regular House Flipper, but it's a definite upgrade. Ooh, back is a little stiff. Let's get rid of this piece of wall. There we go. Open the space up a little further. I think I might turn this into like an office or something. But I don't know. This front porch feels too narrow too. Why did I? Oops. I did not mean to do that. But, oops. How the heck did that happen? That was weird. What the heck? Is that short? That is short. Why is that short? That's... Okay, it's the same height as those. Why isn't it the same height as this one? That is a little odd. Huh. Okay, we're going to change style. Change size. There we go. That was odd. I really don't know what happened there. Maybe the dev that built this one was like distracted for a second or something. Because I can't really think of any reason why that particular column should be smaller than the rest of the columns. I mean, not that it was smaller than all of them. It was smaller than the other one that doesn't meet something here. Because if this, I could understand this being one, like, square shorter if this extended all the way across, but it doesn't. That's gonna be... I don't even know how I want to, like, paint or color that yet. Like, I don't know if I want to do, like, a wood panel, or if I want to do, paint on that part. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna sell these two. I have an idea. There we go. Now, grab this and duplicate these. The heck? Apparently those can't go there if there's... That's weird. Unless those are, like, somehow sunken in. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna... I'm not gonna... Okay, come on. This is what happens. This is why I don't leave games open for ridiculous amounts of time anymore. They get so laggy. I used to... Oh, the number of times that I pissed myself off with The Sims from leaving it open too long. And it doesn't even matter which Sims game. It happened with Sims 1, Sims... Well, I don't know about Sims 1. I never really left that one open. I do like that we have the option for a precise hit or the strong hit. Oh, excuse me. It does make things significantly easier. Oh, it does go down in. What the heck? I am very confused. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Well, there went that idea. But a lot of these kinds of games, a lot of the stuff in these kinds of games is trial and error. The heck? Why is the outdoor light switch outside? That actually makes no sense. in general, you want your switch for your outdoor lights to be inside so that people outside can't mess with it. Or if there is an exterior switch, you also want an interior switch. Which actually, at my grandparents' house, they have there's an outdoor switch. So their front porch is just actually kind of like this one, across the front of the house. It's longer, but basically to get into the house, actually I can sort of play it out here. So there's steps here. So you go up and there's a switch in this general vicinity for the porch light. So that way you can, if you get home late, or if my grandparents get home late from traveling or something, or back when it was our family vacation home before my grandparents moved up to where they live. Oh, excuse me. We would sometimes get there late at night, so, or at least well past sunset, like sometimes 9:30 at night, and it would be really dark. I mean, their house is kind of in the middle of the woods. It's really peaceful up there. Anyway, so there's a switch kind of in this vicinity, turns on the porch lights. Then we go to the front door, which is actually pretty centered on their house. And then you go in, and there's a switch near on the inside near the front door to turn the outdoor lights off, so you don't have to go in and out. Or if you have to go outside for something at night, you can just turn the light on that from inside the house before going out and not have to go out in the pitch black. Startles the hell out of the flying squirrels if they're eating out of the bird feeder on the front porch. Yeah. Until like when I was in high school, I never realized that flying squirrels could actually be found in northern Wisconsin. Because up until end of middle school, I lived here, not in this apartment, but here in this town. I currently live in the town I was born in southern Minnesota. But we don't really have flying squirrels here. We sometimes have black squirrels, which of course is just a color mutation of gray squirrels. Sometimes albino ones too. But yeah, we mainly just have gray squirrels and the occasional black squirrel or albino squirrel, depending on how genetics decided to behave. But up by my grandparents, there's a few flying squirrels. They used to get inside the roof too, which was so annoying because my bedroom at my grandparents' house was the like loft space. So the loft isn't super tall. Thankfully, I'm not a tall person. I'm like 5'4". And so it's kind of that A-frame sort of shape. Actually, this room up here, no, never mind. Do any of these rooms have an A-frame shape? No, none of them do. So anyway, so the peak of the house is like this, and then it just tapers down. And the interior ceiling was my bedroom ceiling, and it has exposed rafters. My grandparents live in a log cabin. Anyway, there's also this one beam directly across the center. Never hit my head on that. Did hit my head on a rafter a few times. It's why we ended up moving my bed so that it was kind of so the rafters are kind of like this. So we moved my bed so that it was between the rafters rather than parallel to the rafters rather than perpendicular to them. No more sitting up too quickly and hitting my head on a rafter. Yeah, not a fun experience. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Went to the bus stop with a slightly red forehead one morning. The girl that lived down the road from us was like, asked me what the heck happened, and I was like, and I just was like, there's exposed rafters in my bedroom. I sat up too fast. And then her brother proceeded to make fun of me because he was kind of one of my bullies. Threw a rock at me one time. Went behind my glasses and gave me a black eye. Still have no idea how it ended up behind. Because I have worn glasses since I was... Like, I think I got glasses when I was 8. And that would... That's over 20 years ago now. So yeah, I've been wearing glasses for over 20 years now. But yeah, when I was 16, I think I was like 16, 17, somewhere in there. The little brat of a kid who was a year or two younger than me was a little jerk to me pretty constantly. And yeah, he threw a rock. So we stood on opposite edges of the driveway that split driveway road that split 3 ways. It split this way to my grandparents' house, this way to the next door neighbor's house, and then this way way down is where they lived. And yeah, he threw a rock, and it somehow managed to go behind my glasses. I think my glasses might have slid down my nose or something. I think my frames were thinner too. I don't remember which glasses I was wearing at that particular point in time. But yeah, my glass, either it was one of my thinner framed pairs of glasses, or my glasses had slid down my nose, and the rock went behind and hit me like right here, and I ended up with a black eye. I think that was the incident that led to the principal and the vice principal and my bus driver was just informed that if he saw us standing on the same side of the driveway, he was supposed to say something to the school, that because I had no intention of going over to that side of the driveway to interact with him, to interact with that kid. But if he had been on my side, then our bus driver was supposed to say something was supposed to contact the school and let them know that he wasn't respecting boundaries. And I don't even remember what that kid's problem with me was. I don't remember ever being like intentionally or unintentionally mean to him. One of their roosters kept getting in our yard too. That was things I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. My grandpa going outside in a flannel nightshirt, because My grandpa wore flannel. I don't know if he still wears them or not, but when I was younger, he wore flannel nightshirts. Because, I mean, I'm sure they're extremely comfortable. I love flannel myself. But I'm talking like full-length flannel nightshirt, like Wee Willie Winky in the old nursery rhyme. And he'd go out there in his nightshirt, because that's just what he happened to be wearing the couple of times that I remember him doing this. These garden shoes, they're kind of like, they're not really like Crocs. They're heavy duty garden shoes, like steel toed and everything. So he goes out there in them, in those, the nightshirt, and I think he even put on, I don't think he put his hat on, but he went out there and he was chasing the neighbor's rooster off with a big stick. I was never more glad that our front yard was essentially trees and the people on the highway wouldn't have been able to see very much. But God, if my friends had like seen that, I would have been so embarrassed. But yeah, my grandpa's always been a bit of an oddball. Yeah. But that rooster eventually stopped running and wandering into, or running away and into our yard, because it was running away. Because for some reason, neighbors had 2 roosters. I think they were trying to keep like some like fresh genetics in or something. I don't know. But from what I've read, it's generally not considered a good idea to have more than 1 rooster if you don't have a lot of hens. And they weren't exactly on a farm. They were just, they just had some chickens in their, like, on their property. I don't know how big their lot was or any of that. Mainly because I wasn't friends with them. I wasn't friends with any of the, like, I was slightly friends with one of the siblings, but like I got along with one of them okay. Got along with one of the older brothers and slightly with the younger sister, but not well enough to say I was friends with them. But yeah, they were I don't know. I really don't know why they thought it was a good idea to have 2 roosters when they didn't have, like, I think they had maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hens. I'm not sure. The hens never wandered into our yard. But, it wasn't long after the last time the rooster ran away into our yard was actually after the other rooster. Now, keeping in mind, with roosters, they will fight for dominance. And the one rooster was pulling the other one's feathers out. So the one that was running away into our yard literally had, I think, it was missing tail feathers. I remember that. I don't know how many. I think it had half a tail of feathers from what I remember. But yeah, it was a not the greatest situation in the world, but the one that was bullying that rooster, this is where it's kind of, I don't know, funny, ironic, I guess. The one that was the like head honcho dominant rooster was the one that got eaten by a fox, and not the one that kept running away. So it was just like, I really don't understand how that ended up happening, but on the plus side, the rooster never ran away after that. Like, there was like one, I think, yeah, like one more incident of the rooster running away, but it was like, because I think it was because it just felt the need to run away one more time or something. I really don't know. I have no idea what was going through that rooster's head. No. Where's the... Ah, those are the ones. That's how I got that look. I was trying to remember how I got the look that I got for these. Crud. I can't. Oh. That's shorter? Really? Huh. Looks like I'm gonna have to build a... There we go. Let's see how that looks. Can't really see it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like it. Sort of. Is there a wider one? I do really like these Valenti windows, though. Oh, here's the 5x8s. The 5x8s are the largest ones that they have in this style, though. I'm gonna just look at the entire Valenti collection for a sec. Yeah, those are the only Valenti windows. Ooh. The old-fashioned typewriter is Valenti. Nice. I like that thing. It's really cool. Actually, I think... Okay. We're gonna sell the windows that I just put in. And we're gonna swap that to precise. I do like that, like I said before, I really like that there's the precise option versus just having the strong hits. Oop, I think I'm gonna go with these windows. Not in that shade of gray, obviously. We're gonna go with a nice darker shade. And then black iron for the bars. There we go. That looks better. And dang it, I need to put a railing up. That's my own fault for not doing that yet. Normally I like windows that open. Nope, that's too wide. I think it was, nope. Is it 2 3x7s? Oh, it's something by 6. I'm gonna have to... Another thing I like in House Flipper 2 is the fact that you can edit the exterior walls and not just interior. It just makes customization in this game a lot, like, better. And I do like this little window seat dealy here. It's really nice. But we are going to, as much as I like openable windows, okay, that one okay, I'm putting a railing up. I'm sick of falling off the stairs. Or falling down the stairs, I should say. Ooh. I like these stairs. Okay. I'm gonna grab these. Change the style. I do like the railing. I want painted wood in Faded Violet 2. Oh, excuse me. Fluffy fabric. Nah, we're just gonna do a solid color. Faded Violet 5. And then we're gonna do those in the black iron. And we'll do open A. Oops. Okay, it was one pass. Oops. Nope, it must have been 2 passed. Yep, that looks nice. I mean, obviously I have to do something about the backdrop of it, but... Now, let's see. What does Valenti have for fencing? Ooh. Cracked my neck a little bit there. Architectural elements, that's right. I think this is the, yep, this is the other Valenti fence. This is the one I want. We're gonna grab that in ebony wood, because it's a nice, dark, witchy sort of wood. Okay, I'm gonna edit the railings. Yep, because that actually matches that. There we go. Now, I can shift around as much as I want, and I'm not gonna fall down the freaking stairs. Okay, this room does have... and it has shutters. I don't know. I don't dislike shutters, but I don't really like them in like, building games. I don't know. Some sort of personal thing. Nope. It's another instance of needing these. Well, especially, I think my issue is that in a lot of the, like, house building games, pre-built houses will have shutters on some windows, but not all, which looks kind of weird. I don't know if it looks trashy or anything like that, it just looks out of place. There we go. I think that's all the upstairs windows taken care of. Now we just gotta do all the downstairs windows. And it's starting to get a little laggy again. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Behave. Good game. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, these don't come in a shorter option. Let's see. I don't know where that's gonna hit when I... Okay, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that looks fine. I'm a little more worried about this one. Okay, not bad. And yeah, I know, it's... Oops. And that's the only that's the biggest problem I have with Windows in this particular iteration of House Flipper, is the fact that when you sell a window, it does destroy the piece of wall where the window was. That's one thing I definitely like better about original House Flipper is the fact that those, like, you sell the window, it seals the wall back up. But that's because of the fact that you can't edit the exterior walls in original House Flipper. Okay, I think I got all the doors now. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the standard doors in this one are 5 wide, when the standard doors in House Flipper 1 were 4 wide. I find that interesting, too. You know what? I think I'm gonna sell the tub and go for, like, clawfoot or something. Let's see. Yeah, I need lights. So let's go and grab the Valenti chandeliers, because I love the Valenti chandeliers. Ceiling lamps. Not... Although I do also really like the Cozy Rosy Waxwing ceiling lamp. This particular chandelier is super cute. It just doesn't light the space very well. This is the candle one. That's not the one I want, though. Where's the chandelier that I used in my... Where's the one I used in my house? Because it wasn't... Oh, here it is. The Conwy. I think I'm saying that right. Let's edit that to be black iron. And I have an assembly discount of 2%. Because I did a chandelier assembly. I've done all of these simple and moderate, or whatever they call them for the first 2 levels of obviously we're not lowering these down because that would be silly. Because we wouldn't want to be, oops, I missed a light in there. Oh, and I missed a light in here too. Okay, I missed all the lights in here. How do I manage these things? Probably because I was telling anecdotes rather than paying attention to what I was doing. Typical me. Okay, one over here. I don't want to put that one in the bathroom though, because it's a little much for a bathroom. So for the bathroom, I want something somewhat fancy, but not super fancy. And I don't really want a chandelier. What's this one? The Cressida. These Cressida lights are pretty cool. They're very industrial. That would be good for like a... If I wanted to try to do like a recreation of Mark and Roger's apartment from Rent or something. I don't remember what one I used in the bathroom in my... You know what? I think I'll do wall lamps. A couple of wall lamps in the bathroom. That is... Wow. I do not know how I feel about that lampshade. It's interesting, to say the least. I don't want the candle. I want the... Oh, that's right. The other Valenti one is the one that... It's basically the light that you see in museums over paintings. Which, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it, it's just not right for what I'm... And these are cool looking, but I don't really... And this apparently can go on a wall. That's... No, that shade doesn't fit, like, the vibe I'm going for. This one vaguely does. This one could work. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to swap out the bulb for this style, just because I'll know and it'll bother me. Swap that out for black iron, and swap that out for the black iron. There we go. Then swap maybe the burlap texture. Yep. Okay, and then we're just gonna go for a simple faded violet. Nothing fancy. And then we're not gonna touch the light settings themselves. We're gonna put one kind of centered over the door to start with. Now the question is, do we want to put the light switch outside of the room, like how it was? Oh, that's right. There's not a lot of choices for light switches in this game. I think we'll go with the Mimus. I have a friend named Ethan. Laura. Yeah, I think we'll go with the Mimus, because at least it has the little toggle switch. And I can do this one in wood tones. Or I can do painted wood. Not the glossy painted wood. Let's go with the faded violet 2. Okay, we'll put it here. I'm not really trying to make these even or anything. I just want to make sure there's light switches in every space. Put one here at the top of the stairs. Oops, hang on, I just realized. Forgot to grab one for in here. There. I'm not sure if they're even or not. I honestly don't care. I'm more worried about them actually just like existing. Okay, that's decently lit. Oh, right, I wanted to put one at the bottom of the stairs. I don't know if I've ever shared this particular story, but my mom told me about this. So, at my great aunt's house that she lived in when my mom was growing up, there was, I think it was, I don't remember if my mom said it was the stairway or a hallway, but there were light switches at both ends of whether it was the stairway or the hallway. And my mom's one cousin was a bit of a little shit, and would turn the light off right after she turned it on, making the space dark to scare the crap out of her, which she didn't appreciate. But who can blame her on that one? don't think anyone appreciates going into a space and being like, and finding out that someone decided to yeah, that's gonna need at least one more. I didn't finish cleaning in here. Whoops. Okay, but yeah, there's gonna need to be another lamp or two in here. That's not terrible. One of the things I do kind of like in this one, though, is if I hit duplicate on this, because of the fact that they're already... There we go. That's better. Because if I duplicate something that's... Is my light flickering? I thought my light flickered for a second. I mean, it's been storming. A little bit. What's the weather doing right now? Now I'm curious what the weather's actually doing right now. So we're gonna check the weather. It says it's still raining. It's 55 degrees out. Oh! Looks like the forecast has dropped from a prediction of 80 something for, well, today now, since it's well past midnight. Because the original prediction for today's weather said like 80 something. Oops, I bumped my mic. Now it's saying 60, which is much more reasonable. Ooh, I might be able to wear my plush leggings and a hoodie. I'm just sick of hot weather. It's October. It's not supposed to be hot out. It is October. It is not supposed to be hot in Minnesota. So let's see. Yeah, looks like we've got a lower temperature. The temperature predictions have lowered from where they were at previously. So, not gonna hear complaints from me on that one. Cause 60 degrees, probably gonna be a bit breezy. Let's see if there's any. Is there wind prediction on that? Low wind. And then, yeah, it's not looking like super windy. 7 miles per hour, that's barely anything. That's a light breeze. Yeah. I'm probably only gonna get the, like, walls and floors done, and windows and stuff done tonight. But I'm definitely gonna, well, obviously I'm gonna have to come back to this one at some point. Might just continue this one later like, either tonight or, like, actually tomorrow. Since it's, like I said, it's after midnight, so it's a different day. Okay, looks like I got all of them in there. Any in here? I'm not hearing the splat noise that happens when there's dirt and grime. I forgot to sell these. Those aren't... It's not that I hate the lights. It's that I prefer to have, like, nicer lighting. Especially since this is going to be a build I sell. So I definitely want it to have higher quality things inside so that I can like ensure that I get a decent amount of money out of it. I really don't know what I want to do with this space. Maybe if I just move the lamp. Or chandelier, rather. Yeah, that's better. Ish. No, that is not better. Okay, that needs to be there. Maybe yeah. You know what? We're gonna just grab this one because this one's just decently simple. And then we're gonna connect it to those. There. Brightened up the space a little bit. I'm just not a big fan of like dark hallways. Okay, now we're gonna copy this switch and put it here. I do like that when you copy a light switch or a light fixture and place the duplicate in the same room, it stays connected. The only time it's annoying is if you want the same light fixture in another room and you forget that you've already hooked it up to one of the switches. I've done that a few times. Okay, now let's see. Where's that? I also like that it remembers those even? No, they're not. That's better. Okay. Remembers the like colors and things that you've chosen for at least during the same session. That looks nice. I do love the Cozy Rosie set as much as I love the Valenti. The Valenti is great for like elegant and witchy builds, I feel like. And kind of like gothic or Victorian type things as well. But yeah, the copying and pasting of like color and style in this game is fantastic. Okay, yep, they did this in pieces. Why did they do this in pieces? I am highly confused. Okay, we're gonna just edit these stairs. We're not gonna... Actually, I don't think about it. We're gonna grab that railing, and it is in ebony. Okay, and then I want the black granite. Ooh, that looks nice. I like that. And we're gonna copy and paste. And then Okay, I like the black granite base, but I want it nice and dark. Now we copy. Oh, yes. Okay, now I need a nice dark brick for the to replace the stone, because the stone is nice, but it doesn't fit the vibe I'm going for. And I keep bumping my mic. Oh my god. Surface finishes, I want raw materials, I think is where the one I want is. Yeah, the clay bricks, which these are nice because you can customize the color. Now, right now it's at drab violet 3. I want faded violet 2. And this is at pure gray 3, which is perfect. I think that was the... I think it was at that color for the, I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to actually need. So we grab a few. I think that was actually the... It might have kept it from the last time I played, because I didn't touch anything with... my house, like, okay, so that used up an entire stack. Ooh, yep, that looks significantly better. I do like that it lets you do each side of the stairs differently too. That's another thing that's really nice. But I don't remember actually doing anything like surface color, like surface textures and whatnot to since I loaded into the save. So I'm wondering if it retains it for a longer period than I thought. Didn't need anywhere near as much as I thought I was going to, which is not a problem. I'd much rather grab way too much than not enough. Now comes the fun part. This isn't the fun part. This is just me getting rid of the excess. Remembering which direction I need panels to go for trim. Trims and whatnot. Okay, let's see. I really do like how this is turning out, though. Oh my god. It's very witchy. I love it. And then I'm gonna do paneling. Let's see, I need to grab wood panels painted wood panels. Okay, yep, because I didn't edit these to, or no, these I did edit to use today, or within the last 24 hours. Like, within this load in, like, load in, not, okay, we're gonna go down to 2, and a rotation of 0. And we're gonna do that in Faded Violet 1. And we're gonna buy 1 stack for now. Then we're gonna all rotate these and up that to that. And then we're gonna go for this dark gray. And we're gonna grab 2 stacks for now. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks much better. I mean, it's gonna look even better once I get everything uniform. But it's already starting to come together. And then there's the matter of doing the... Oh, this is gonna be... interesting. I should probably do some more of this. And yeah, that one spot looks a little jank, but not too bad. There we go. I should probably duplicate these before I start using them, because otherwise that's one thing that is annoying. It duplicates the stack exactly. It doesn't make a new stack, like a new full stack of panels or tiles. It duplicates the stack as is. So if you've got a stack of like 2 pieces, like 2 panel pieces, and you duplicate it, you literally just get 2 more panel pieces. You don't get a full stack. So that could be a bit annoying in some situations, but at least it's a thing that makes logical sense. There's like the number of times there are things in games where it's like, wait, how does that, how? Why does that make sense? In what universe does that make sense? And the answer is usually whatever universe the story is taking place in. But yeah, there are definitely situations where it's like, this makes no sense. Why are we doing this way? I'm not as, like, it's not as bad with, like, this Because, like I said, at least with at least with this version of House Flipper, if you do, like I said, if you do duplicate, your stack of tiles or panels, you get an identical stack right down, all the way down to whatever number of panels are in the stack. Oh, and this will be the end of this stack, so I'm gonna have to duplicate the other stack again. Those. Another pack. I'm gonna need a scaffold. Or the trampoline. I haven't decided which. But I need to determine if this is the correct direction. Nope. So, we're gonna go into change style, we're gonna go into this one, and we're going to rotate that backwards. And then, whoops. Yeah, that's already looking significantly better. I think I just want to finish the exterior right now, and then I'm gonna and then I think I'm gonna head to bed. I'm really tired. I don't know why, I haven't done that much stuff today. Although I did do some driving. The only thing I can think of is for why I might be tired. Always be careful if you're on the scaffolding in this game, because I have sold the scaffold out from under my feet and fallen. I mean, thankfully fall damage isn't a thing in this game, but it was, excuse me, still really annoying. I know I could put them on the scaffold, but I don't know. I think it might qualify as a specific brand of laziness, maybe, to not move all the pieces around. Oh, that's the last of this staff. Oh wow, that was perfect. There we go. Yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. Okay, this time I am bringing it. I do think I lost a um Yeah, whoops. That's why we don't run at full speed up and down these things. In real life and in games. But, I think I lost a stack of, like, tiles or something earlier. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. Sorry about that. My mom was asking me if I fed the cat. Just gonna finish this stack. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I have a fruit cup. Doo-doo-doo. Back to what I was doing. I'm gonna finish that section of the roof. Or not roof. Wall. Wow. Roofs and walls are not the same thing. Though ceilings and walls can kind of be the same thing if you have a loft space that has like an A-frame ceiling. And literally only one wall. Yeah, the bedroom I had as a teenager had literally one wall. Because the other two walls were the ceiling, and then there was open space with like a banister rather than walls, rather than a wall. So I had like we draped like quilts over the banisters so that they blocked visibility into my room. So I had some semblance of privacy. But I mean, it could have been worse. But my bedroom literally had no door. That was like the one downside. So, but I did take a bunch of like super cheap beaded necklaces, kind of like Mardi Gras bead ones, but I had these ones that had like peace signs on them, as well as the like regular bead shapes. I don't even remember where I got them all. I had a whole bunch. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have gotten some of them at like a flea market. Flea markets and rummage sales and that kind of stuff. But I made myself I made a homemade beaded curtain. So I guess there's that at least. I don't know, like, there were tons of like, I didn't know a lot of people who wanted beaded curtains for their rooms or anything, but I had wanted a beaded curtain for a while, but my grandparents aren't like cheap or anything like that, but my grandma was not gonna buy me like a beaded curtain for however much they cost. I honestly have no idea how much a beaded curtain would cost, like even in like 15 years ago. Wait, 15 years ago was 10 years ago was 2015. 2010. So yeah, I was in high school in 2010. So yeah, even what it would have cost 15 years ago for a beaded curtain, but yeah, my grandma didn't want me, like, didn't want to buy things that might end up being a waste of money, which I don't blame her. Like, she was kind of the mindset of, what if you decide you don't, what if you decide you hate it after a certain amount of, after a specific amount of time or whatever. I mean, I did end up keeping the thing up for a long time. Even after high school, it was still up for a while. But yeah, like I can definitely see her point of view on that one. Like, what if I hadn't wanted to keep it for a long period of time? What if I had gotten a like pre-made $20 or more beaded curtain, and what if I absolutely hated it, and then that's just money down the drain, you know? Was kind of her reasoning for that. So yeah, I made my own beaded curtain because, one, it was probably less expensive than whatever the heck they charge, whatever the heck they would have charged at like I don't know where I would have gotten them. I don't even know where they would sell them nowadays, let alone back then. But yeah, like I said, that was 15 years, that was at least 15 years ago, possibly longer, like 15, 16 years ago, because like I said, I was in high school at the time. I mean, I was always a rather odd kid, just in general. Oh, sure. Go to all that effort, and it was literally the last piece. Typical me. I'm not sure if my TV is audible through my mic or not. I've got some old Looney. I've got a little compilation thing of Looney Tunes that they've got on Tubi playing right now. I'm probably gonna have to move the scaffold. You know what? I'm gonna move the scaffold. I'm just glad I have the can run while carrying heavy objects thing unlocked. Perk. It's called a perk. That's what it is. This is like a really old Looney Tunes short. Might even be a Merry... I don't think it's a Merry Melodies. I'm pretty sure it's just like regular Looney Tunes. But, it's, this one where, like, Daffy convinces Porky to quit. And then, so to quit cartoons to go into like films, but he keeps Porky ends up getting like kicked off of the movie sets. And what some people, I don't know how many people really think like this, but there are people who don't realize that Porky and Daffy have individually been around longer than Bugs Bunny. In fact, Porky's been around longer than Daffy. Daffy Duck was introduced in a Porky Pig short. I don't know if it was a Looney Tune or a Merry Melody, but it was one where Porky was a duck hunter there were some interesting some of the old cartoons are interesting. Like, why is Porky duck hunting? And it wasn't even the last time that he did it either. Like Daffy and Porky are either friends or one's the protagonist and the other's the antagonist, and usually in the early ones. Oh, damn it. There we go. Sometimes I gotta do the stupid little jumpy thing to... I'm seeing a spot on that one. I saw a spot way up there on the eve of the house. I don't know. It was just a bad, really weird reflection. Okay, I don't trust that to not. Okay, let's see. I think what I want to do. Oops. The nice thing is you can edit these so that there's no pattern to them, but I actually don't mind it on those parts. But I think I'm gonna edit these so that there's no pattern. Or no cut pattern, rather. So that way I can just have a nice... even. Oh no, that looks way better. Well, I mean, look at that. That's nice and smooth. I think I will do that. No, that's too much black. Okay, I'm gonna edit the cut pattern on this to none. Edit the cut pattern on this to none. Okay, yeah, that's better. That adds that missing depth that I wanted. The depth that I was missing for a second there. not sure how much I'm actually gonna need. I just want to finish the exterior of the house before I call it quits for the night. Oh yeah, that looks good. There. I just realized I never put the fence up. I keep forgetting it's not an outdoor item, it's an architectural element. I don't know why I managed how. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna pop this on the ground for the moment and see if I can. I don't know what's going on with that spot. Okay. Because I know that fits there. Ah, yep, that fixed it. That looks much better. It adds additional depth to have. Like, it adds visual interest and depth. I don't know, it just feels more complete than it would without it. Okay, so now we're gonna grab black again. Whoops. Yeah, that looks way better. Okay. Now we're gonna take this. Wee, and wee. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna go like this. Oops. Probably should do that from. Do that while on the scaffold. Go. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Like, the significant the massive difference in like how it looks with just the black or with just the purple. This is literally just me trying to fix that a little. Okay, that actually doesn't look bad. I'm not in the mood to deal with the whole house right now with this. But that'll look significantly better. Okay, now I don't like that this is stone. I think I did all the purple that I would need to do. For exterior. I think I'll keep those though so that I can finish doing the ceilings, but I do want to change this up for a wooden floor. Nice dark wood. I think I want to go in with and I want to do this in drab violet 1. There we go. Now for the there we go. That looks much nicer. Feels witchy to me. And now it's just a matter of doing all the interior stuffs. Yeah, because I'm going to have to match the ceilings to that so that it doesn't look terrible. There was... Oh, right. I think I'm going to go with this. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, that's not gonna match. There we go. That'll have to do. But yeah, it's a bit late. I think I'll call her good on that for now. Actually, hang on, I just realized I didn't do the riffing, like the actual riffing. I think we'll go with Drab Violet 1. There we go. It actually does have that gothic witchy vibe, like feel now. It has that gothic witchy feel now. Instead of semi-modern suburban home, it now feels Victorian Gothic. It's amazing what a color palette and like older style windows can do to a build. Okay, I am going to save. And I am going to sign off for the night. I'll probably be back. I'll be back with this again on my next stream. So, I'm gonna head to bed. I'm really tired. So, yeah, night all. If it'll let me end my stream.